We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
All of your internet belong to us now.
Clam stamp your mom.
Live. We should be good.
Well, that was the show for today, folks. Thanks.
And that's it. Thanks for coming by. We appreciate having you there, Pigeon. And we're going to invite you back.
Yeah, that was great, guys. Thanks for having me.
We'll finish this conversation later.
And hopefully we won't have those same technical difficulties, but appreciate everyone standing by.
Yeah. We started 2 hours early. My bad.
Just wish people could hear the behind the scenes, right?
Right.
Actually, I was going to joke and say, "Oh, dude, you're reading the bottom of the script. You're meant to go up there first and."
Right. Yeah. We worked backwards with the whole Benjamin button. But welcome to Destiny Unfiltered. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Boop Cannon, Boop for short. We've got Josh with us, everyone, and Ryan over there swinging in his chair with his unused green screen. So we're excited to.
It's for the shadows.
Yeah, exactly. For the dog, do the dogs in the back. So our guest tonight is Mr. Bungee Bounty himself. We have Pigeon with us, everybody. Round of applause for those that are watching. They're the three people. And but we're excited.
Live from Ireland.
Oh,
Ireland?
What? Yeah.
Them's fighting words.
It must be a typo.
Scotland. So we're excited to have you, my friend. Thanks for staying up late to spend some time with us.
Yeah, what the fuck time is it there?
It's now 2:10 in the morning, but you're fine. I'm like totally like a late person as it is, so this is nothing.
A night owl, if you will.
Like, good to be here, of course.
Yes,
Long time coming.
We are excited to have you. And so tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get started? How'd you get started in the gaming, whether it be gaming industry? How you got your start streaming? Let's hear a little bit about what you want the Destiny universe to know about.
Where does Pigeon come from?
Oh, dude, that's like a saga. It's like two or three separate sagas.
That's what we're here for.
I guess I'll start with the Pigeon thing because it kind of led into like being my gamer tag for everything. So, the story I've always told is back at high school, I had really bad posture. So I'm quite a tall guy. I'm like 6'2", 6'4". I don't know the exact measurement. I'm tall. People would say I'm tall. You would say I'm tall. And back at school, I think I'm tall. I think I'm tall.
I'm probably right about the same height as you. Is all I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird, right? A lot of people are like, oh, you're a tall guy. But at high school, I had like really bad posture. Like when I walked around, I walked with a kind of a bob to my head movement, and someone just no, I wouldn't even say it was bad posture. I kind of walked around looking at the ground, like I don't know why. I was just kind of skulking around looking at the ground, like no. So anyway, it meant I walked kind of with a bob, and someone pointed out that I walked like a pigeon, and that's it. It literally set off from there. I got nicknamed Pigeon there and then. And at that kind of time, we were starting to use a lot of different social medias that were coming out. So there was like MySpace, there was MSN Messenger. Makes me feel like a boomer, by the way.
Oh my god.
But that's kind of when I started putting the pigeon name into different socials and stuff, and it just always stuck, and people always kind of remembered it as well. It was a lot easier to remember than my actual name, and for me, like I kind of owned it. I didn't really feel like it was like a derogatory nickname because I know nicknames can kind of be like making funny something about you. But like I somehow fixed my posture eventually. Like I just kind of stood up, I guess, and well, that was how the nickname kind of stuck. So like I said, yeah, it kind of was my gamer tag and stuff. I was always like a PlayStation guy growing up. I guess I was gaming, like there's pictures of me when I was a kid playing like Sega Mega Drive when I was like 4 years old. And my first game was like Sonic the Hedgehog.
So
Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
you were 4 years old when the what we would call the Genesis, but the Mega Drive came out?
Yeah, Genesis / Mega Drive.
Okay.
I don't know how long it's been out.
So,
I've got my dad to thank for that because he was the one that brought the console into the household.
Nice.
And plugged into the TV, and there's like a classic photo. I mean, I wish I kind of could have showed you this, I guess, but I had like a photo of me sitting in front of the TV with a controller and Sonic's on the screen, and it's just kind of, to me, always been kind of iconic because that was me playing a video game for probably one of the first times, and it was Sonic. I ended up getting consoles as I grew up. I was in my room playing the Mega Drive growing up through like primary school, as it's called here, which is kind of what your kindergarten would be, I guess. And I just always got new consoles growing up. It would be Christmas, get an N64, then Christmas again, got a PlayStation. I was really lucky in that sense.
So we should have grown up in your house.
yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Like my dad brought
All
home a
video games.
VCR. We were excited.
I actually went da for video games, man. Like, me and my cousins, we would go down to the grandparents' house every Friday night, and they would let us use what we call like the big TV, because like we were kind of condemned to like small TVs in our rooms. So we'd go to our grandparents' house on a Friday night, and they would let us use the big TV, which was like in the living room area, and we would play video games all night, like me and a couple of my cousins, and we'd be allowed to stay up late. It was just everything that we couldn't do at home because we'd be in bed like early back at home. The weekend came around and we could stay up past like our bedtime playing video games. So there was like memories of like playing Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, all on PlayStation at the time. In that household, like all the cousins, and we would all sit and name characters and stuff. That was kind of like my first brush for like RPGs, and it just, something about it clicked. I loved like the story. I got really involved with the characters. Like all the cousins would name all the different characters and like the Guardian forces and all that stuff. So it'd be a lot of fun about it. So yeah, I was always a PlayStation guy. And this kind of does segue into the whole Destiny thing. So because I was always in ownership of like PlayStations through every generation, like PS2 forever, by the way. Some of my friends would own Xboxes, and I would only ever get to play Xboxes at my friends' houses. So I'd be going over and we'd be like, right, cool, we're playing Halo tonight, and I was like, right, cool. And I knew what Halo was kind of at the time, like on Xbox when it came out, and I was like, well, this looks really cool. I didn't own an Xbox, and I picked up the controller and played Halo, and I was just like, holy cow, this is amazing. Like, I just loved like playing Halo straight off the rip. By the way, Halo Infinite, have you touched it yet? Have you? Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Played Halo, and I remember playing co-op campaign, a game with one of my friends, like from Fresh, and I was just like, this is the most exhilarating thing ever, because I'd never really been like in a cooperative environment like that, just like split screen and playing a first person shooter. All I was playing in the PlayStation at the time was like Call of Duty games. One of my friends got me right into like Modern Warfare 1 and 2, the Black Ops series, which I kind of brushed on. But nothing compared to Halo. I was always looking for a Halo game for my PlayStation, and nothing came close. I think the closest thing I played was a game called Resistance, if you know the Resistance series. It's an amazing game series. Really came close to the Halo factor, but just missed the mark. So I did my research. I was like, I really want to find a game that's like Halo on my PlayStation, because like I don't really play Xbox. It's not where I've been all this time. And I just so happened to be on holiday one week for work. This was like 2017 maybe, or 16. Can't remember. I'll guess the year after. But I went into the local game shop and I'd been paid. I was like, right, I'm on holiday. I've been paid. I'm going to buy a couple of games to play while I'm off this week. And I went in and I bought 2 games. I bought Bloodborne and I bought Destiny. I just picked up Destiny off the shelf, looked at the cover. I was like, I didn't even know who Bungie were at the time. Like, even though I'd played Halo, I didn't really know who the developers and stuff were. I wasn't really that involved with games. Like, I just picked up games. I knew I'd played Final Fantasy constantly since then. I played Call of Duty. Those were kind of like my main games. But I picked up Destiny just by chance. It was pre-owned, like $7.99 from the shop, and I was like, right, cool. Went home, plugged in Destiny first. Like, right, I want to play a first-person shooter. Plugged in Destiny, and I got hit with the year 2 update, so I couldn't even play it there and then. I was like, oh damn right, that needs to install the update. I'll play it tomorrow. So I put Bloodborne in, and if you've played Bloodborne or Souls games before, you'll know it's a brutal experience. But I ended up playing that, and I was just like, nah, this is too rough, man. And then I just gave up the night. I think it got quite late, and I was like, nah, right, cool. Next day, loaded up my PS4. Destiny 1 had finished installing, and I loaded it up. And then this is when the magic kind of happened. Literally loaded that first mission. I didn't have PS Plus at the time, by the way, and it made me buy PS Plus, which I was kind of a bit iffy with. The rest is history still. Loaded up that first mission. I picked a Titan, by the way. Like, I kind of related that character to the Call of Duty side of things.
Good choice. Good choice. You made the right decision.
I just picked it because I thought it was the most Call of Duty-esque looking character. I was like, looks like an all-rounder sort of thing. And I ended up, the moment I picked up a gun and fired at the Kvostov, as soon as I fired that first shot and got the vibration on the controller, and it just instantly reminded me of the Halo kind of vibration factor. Like, I actually quite like that feedback look like from the vibration on a controller. And I was sold. I was just like, oh my god, that feels like Halo. It feels like I'm shooting a gun in Halo. And then I saw the damage numbers come up, and then all that RPG experience, like the Final Fantasy games, all the other stuff I played at the time, that all just, like, my brain must have just imploded and went, oh, I understand this. This is just, yeah, cool. And I literally just lost myself to it. Someone messaged me. I was lucky enough to have pals on my PSN friends list that played Destiny, and one of them messaged me saying, you're playing Destiny? And I was like, yeah, I picked up the other day. And they're just like, do I come play then? I was like, sure. And then next minute, this dude who's like year 2 mega leveled, like, joins my fire team, and we do the Black Garden mission because I'd reached that in the kind of time that I'd played it. And then I got my first taste of the power fantasy because he had all the legendary gear and exotic stuff, and I'm sitting there with all the blue stuff still equipped, like completing the campaign. I was like, you've just given me my kind of I want that factor. So yeah, honestly, I put about, so this was year 2 Destiny 1. This was after Taken King had just came out, and a lot of people were playing it. They were grinding for like the King's Fall raid and stuff. I remember I loaded into Vault of Glass on my own, no idea. I was like, what do I do here? Like, running around. And
you die a lot.
I die, yeah. People started, they started telling me, like, oh no, you need a fire team for that. And I was like, right, so can I set up a fire team? And then I had my first kind of brush with LFG and that whole people not interested in content anymore. I was like, come on, do a Vault of Glass. I've not done one. But I was lucky enough that a few people jumped in. And I did my first Vault of Glass, like, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. And I was up till like 7 o'clock in the morning my time. And I'll never forget it because I was up playing it, absolutely exhilarated. And then my partner at the time came in and was like, they came off a night shift and they're like, you've been up all night? I was like, you need to know what I did last night. Like, I was absolutely buzzing, having did a raid for the first time. It was some feeling. And yeah, that's kind of like the Destiny 1 thing. I was hooked. It just called to me. I learned as much as I could, but kind of not the same way that I know it now, or like Destiny 2. But I didn't actually start streaming. So the streaming thing, I didn't really do till Destiny 2 came out, and I was just like, I'm just going to stream Destiny, and like, I just started. I had the PS4 native thing, and I just started streaming my gameplay to the guys that I knew, and they were just kind of. I was like, come watch my stream, and they would watch maybe here and there. I had a laptop at the time, which I just kind of used to like monitor the stream and stuff. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, cool. And I was just having fun. I was like, I'm streaming and like, come watch me play Destiny. And my biggest thing from the offset was I wanted to show everybody how much I freaking loved the game. I was like, I'm obsessed with this. You need to know why I'm obsessed with this. Can I make you obsessed with it? That was kind of like my initial like thought process. Then I just, like I said, I half-assed it. And then New Year came around. So this was Destiny 2 launch, so it's a bit of fast forward in there. I played Destiny 1 to
Let's go back to Destiny 1. What was your first exotic?
My first exotic? It would have been the No Time to Explain, I'm sure. Or the Stranger's Rifle, whatever it was, the difference was. I think the first exotic I proper remember was Ruin Wings on the Titan. I got Ruin Wings and I was like, these are really cool. And I loved getting like constant heavy and stuff. And I did a bit of the questing and stuff. I remember doing Westwood. I remember doing the Black Spindle mission and stuff. Lost to Light. And I did that in year 2.5 when I think they had fixed it to be there all the time, the heroic Lost to Light mission, or the hard mode Lost to Light. But I remember that was on a rotation before and people had to wait ages for it. But I missed that whole experience, which kind of sucked. But I did come back and get it. Did all the other quests. I played the game organically, so I didn't buy any DLCs. I literally got the year 2 patch. They'd released Destiny the Collection at the time, so it meant your year 1 content, the House of Wolves, and that other one, Dark Below, was all included in that patch. And I played it all organically, and then eventually got to the Taken King, and I was just like, I was actually skint as hell at the time. I'd actually was like, I need to watch one to spend my money on, and I was like, I bought the Taken. I was like, I'm going to think about it. I bought the Taken King DLC to play it at the time, and I played through that. And we were fast approaching Rise Iron, to be honest, at the time. So year 2 was in full swing, and I was like, by the time Rise Iron came out, I was caught up pretty much. There was a whole bunch of stuff I hadn't done. Like, I'd only put about 800 hours in at the end of my time playing Destiny 1. But I was there for Rise Iron, and I was there on launch. I remember loading in, and it was the first time I'd ever taken time off to play a video game, which like I'd never done before. And I took like
I feel
a few days off Rise Iron.
The part of this story that we skipped over is, one, you jumped in the best time because you didn't have the content drought and you didn't have to deal with vanilla D1, because you'd have probably been like, fuck this, and went back to Bloodborne.
Oh wait,
That's what everybody I know did.
so he never had to deal with turning in a purple Ingram and getting a blue instead. Thanks, Rahul.
Right.
It was probably a bunch of stuff. This is stuff that
that was probably one of the most frustrating
Loot cave.
things
He
about
missed the whole loot cave.
Vanilla D1.
The Queen's Wrath, or whatever the fuck that was too.
The very first Destiny event. Yep.
So, but on the other hand, you had actual shit to do because it wasn't one strike and one mission, and
it was a lot of stuff.
A lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget when they talk about there's nothing to do in Destiny. Probably never played Destiny 1 when there was that only one strike. And when we finally got that one raid, I mean, it's like... So what I want to know is, like you mentioned, some of the best memories you ever had were those all-night gaming sessions, right? So that's like, I think we can all relate to that. That's like those are always the best memories. But let me ask you though, you mentioned you played a lot with your cousins. Are they still playing? Are they still gamers?
They're still gamers. They never got into Destiny, I'm afraid. But they still game. Definitely.
So you streamed to convince everybody else, but you couldn't get your cousins into Destiny.
They dabbled. They tried the free to play stuff, but they just weren't sold on it.
The better question
They're not real
is,
gamers. They're not real gamers. They don't know.
the better question to this is you said about your partner came home from the night shift one night. Did your partner ever get into?
Nah. She wasn't into the time, so nah. I literally, I know that's what I said. I was like, I want to try and convince as many people as possible, but I knew the people that I just couldn't convince from the offset. So, but yeah, my cousins still play video games. I think they just prefer straight up story games or whatever goes on. Friends. Yeah. Yeah. So the Destiny 1 thing, yeah, that was nuts for me. I'd never stayed up so late gaming, and then my friends list expanded like 100-fold using LFG, which was a thing.
So last week. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. So, because I'm ignorant to how this works, when you do LFG, you're not in the United States. So, does it instantly try to match you with people in your area, or does it just do you just look at everybody?
So this was the old Destiny 1 LFG groups. This was the third party sites that I'd found. I was sitting there on my phone just LFGing left, right and centre to do old raids, and kind of befriended most of the folk that I played with. I was like, right, well, you would tend to add them to join fire teams and stuff, and then they would just be fodder on your friends list. But there was a lot of time people would start going, hey, do you want to do a raid or whatever? And I just got in with the culture of it all, like playing an MMO style game.
I'm trying to figure out how big Destiny is in Scotland.
How big it is?
Yeah.
I mean, I always say this. My experience was sugar coated because I just instantly had people who were playing it already, and I got into my first clan, and I got into lots of activities with them, and I got really obsessed quickly, so I was there every day, like going, you getting on the day, and like I said, I was lucky that a lot of people play and they're just on their own for so long, and that really upsets me, like to know that's a thing.
They just wanted to hear you talk.
No, this is the Scottish people.
this was okay.
Yeah,
so
that's Scottish
people. So we had Mosh Pad on last weekend. Last week, and he said that he was one of the other people that we ever talked to that said he got on LFG and had an amazing experience. It sounds like you did as well. Yeah. Like it wasn't toxic for you.
I call it LF Gold. I most of the time lucked out. I definitely had my groups that there was the heavy elitists know what to do or kick maneuvers. I'd seen it all.
Bring Galahorn.
And like I would just leave. I was like, nah, it's not my vibe, and I would leave. But I would always be that like sort of optimistic dude hopping at an LFG like, hey, right, how you doing? Aye, huh? And start chatting away. And then very quickly people are like, are you from Scotland? I'm like, whereabouts in Scotland? I'm like, Glasgow. And like, oh, cool. And yeah, those LFGs were wild, man. Like it was just, you never knew what you were going to get, especially because it was like third party.
I think you mentioned on a tweet, if I remember, that that there's not a whole lot of Scottish streamers, right?
Not that I know of, really. There's like a handful that I know. I tweeted this today. I just kind of observed that my audience for the Twitch things kind of mostly East Coast US. Like, there's not. I feel like the way people consume content in Scotland's so different from across the seas. So, a lot of people love the gaming content, and me being Scottish, I guess, which I've always used as a kind of personality trait. But like Scottish people won't be that wild with me being Scottish compared to a lot of people. So that's the conclusion I came to today. But I would love to like meet more Scottish Destiny players, streamers, you name it. Like I'd say they're a rare breed.
You do tend to stream later your time, which is like just late afternoon and whatnot, Eastern for that for that audience.
It's a nice overlap. The time zones are a nice overlap. I always figured my main time to go live was 3 o'clock in the afternoon here. and that's like 10 a.m. Eastern. So people are mid-morning, they're maybe getting a coffee, or they're already at work, and like I'll tell you I'll kind of circle around to the streaming story, but a big thing was like lockdown and people were working from home, so they were able to tune in whilst they were working, and that actually became quite ritualistic for a lot of folk that I know that still watch the channel to this day. But yeah, time zones, the 5 hours doesn't really hurt except for maybe if I started earlier in the morning or in the day, which I don't tend to do. It's not my vibe. I like the afternoon. I'm not really a morning person as it is, so. Yeah, the streaming thing. At the end of that year, it would have been what, January 2019, I'll say. That was Destiny 2. When did Destiny 2 come out? Was it 2017 or 18?
17.
So 2017.
Yeah.
So, see, I'm crossing my timelines.
So what made you decide to really pick up a camera and and start streaming? Was it really about getting people on board with you, or was it just like a wild hair that you said I'm gonna start streaming today?
September 6, 2017 was D2 launch day.
2017. Yep. So, I don't know if I streamed it straight away. At the time, I was on Twitch beforehand. Kind of can't remember who I watched. I couldn't even tell you who I watched, but I did watch a few streams before. Didn't really understand it. I think I actually started streaming in 2018. That would have been, and I kind of half-assed it.
When you say half-assed, what's your definition of half-assed?
I just turned on a stream and that was it. I didn't really do much else. I just turned on a stream and said to a few folk, I've got a stream up for the game. That was it. But then towards the end of the year, I started using Twitch more. I actually sat on the desktop and went, this is what goes on in Twitch. And this is why I'm thinking my timelines. It would have been 2019. I said, I'm going to take this a bit more seriously. And that was January 2019. I said, I'm going to take it seriously. So I bought a camera and stuff. I bought a green screen, all that stuff. And I started properly streaming. And like I had Twitter at the time, and I was starting to use Twitter a wee bit. And then I started going on and watching the Destiny directory, and I was always just blown away. I was kind of not obsessed, but I was just mesmerized by the big number counts on these big streams. I was just like, oh god, the people that's watching them, like that blew my mind at the time. Still does to this day, I guess.
Now, what other streamers have probably influenced you the most, or you picked up the most from?
I don't know. It just kind of blended into an experience that I was finding for myself, which was going on the directory, just following people and watching a bunch of people and just going, cool. I mean, I was already heavily involved with the YouTube side of things, so I was watching your Datto videos, I was watching your Glad videos, like some of the big players, Fallout, Rick Kakis. I know Rick Kakis doesn't really stream. I already had a vague idea of the people because I watched their videos, but it didn't really occur to me that they also streamed live as people, and their content was like playing the games and stuff. That blew my mind.
I would guess that you being Scottish and there not being a lot of Scottish people doing it means you almost had to carve your own way through it too, because it's easy to be the asshole American or whatever, or I mean, there's a lot of personalities out there, but there's a lot of specifically U.S. personalities out there, and there's not a lot of what you would like a Scottish guy, or there's a lot of Australians out there, but you don't see like a lot of Russians out there. You know what I mean? Like streaming from the U.S. Or Chinese guys. So you're almost cutting the path for other people to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with the Twitch thing. So I did start watching streams and sitting watching people. There was one that did come to mind because I do remember watching their streams like a year and a half ago or more, and that was Tiddly, if you know her. She's an amazing streamer. She's literally a human unicorn rainbow. It's insane.
Yep.
But I remember watching her Destiny streams, and I was just sitting there, just like, what is going on here? Like, it's just madness. And I was watching her chat go, and I was just like, that's insane. And me taking things more as seriously as I could, I just started to think, right, so these people are established, and like I need to start doing something about it. So I did. I started streaming a bit more like prominently. I had my laptop set up, I had the camera and the green screen. Like these were like major upgrades for me at the time. And I started inviting more people in, and I started kind of spreading the word a bit. I turned like a handful of viewers, which was like amazing, to be honest. And that was like my time there, and that led up to like sort of late 2018, I think that would have been. What year are we in? 2017, 2018.
We're in 2021.
I don't know what year we're in.
Dude,
I have no idea. I don't even know where I am.
You know what? I'm just gonna like disassociate years and time stamps. I'm just gonna say all the different events, but like I did do that a bit more prominently, and I had like some moderate success. I had a few Scottish people. The people that I was in that clan with had like a Discord community. I learned about Discord and stuff, and they had like a group of Scottish streamers that did content and stuff, and it was alright. It was kind of like humble beginnings for most folk, and I just remember I had to move from the place I was in, and when I moved into my new flat, the internet that I thought I was going to get wasn't available, and I ended up I couldn't stream anymore, and like things in my personal life as well were kind of going topsy-turvy. I was like in the middle of like a breakup and stuff, no fun and whatnot, but I couldn't stream, so I was kind of gutted. And this kind of this happened over Shadowkeep, and I actually had to use my hotspot to play Destiny from, because I had copper wire internet in the new flat. I'd just moved from a place that had like fiber internet.
Oh my god.
And like broadband, and the place I went to had copper wire. So I was like 5 meg download and half a meg upload. So I couldn't stream anymore. And that was late, whatever year Shadowkeep came out, because I'm forgetting the time scale. And I stopped streaming. And then that exact day when I found out my internet was rubbish, I literally just picked up my phone and I started browsing on Twitter. Just started. I don't even know what I searched. I think I typed in Destiny or something, and I just started following a few folk here and there and started just filling up my timeline. And I was like, right, I can't stream. I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to go on Twitter, and I'm just going to find Destiny people on Twitter. And that bloody steamrolled, like no joke, man. I literally somehow got hot back with a few big follows straight away. A guy called Protheon, you might know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I can't remember. He had like a cousin account. I don't know who it was. But Protheon followed me back, and then he like replied to me, says, "Who's this pigeon dude? I don't know. He seems alright." And like he followed me, and I just looked at him and I was like, this guy had like 6,000-7,000 followers on his Twitter account, and it was Destiny related. And I was like blown away. I was like starstruck, and I was like, no way, man. And then something just clicked in me again. I just used the algorithm. I don't know. I talk a lot as it is, so I'd already tweeted a lot, but I'd never tweeted about Destiny stuff. And I just started tweeting about Destiny stuff, and I just lost myself to it on the social media, Twitter in particular. And like slow but surely started following more people. People started following back. And then I just got really tight-knit with all the people I was talking to. Our timelines were just all kind of exploding, talking about Destiny and stuff. And I'm pretty sure somewhere along the way, Mr. Boop was in there, like followed back and all that stuff.
Man, you were somebody.
And I was like, Mr. Boop can't follow me back. I'm pretty sure I tagged you and says, Mr. Boop can't follow me back. Thank you, like big fan sort of thing. And like Lord. I remember all your videos, you just booping people all over the shop. So stuff like that started to happen. I just started making all these connections, and
you don't need to blow them. You're already on the show.
And then sideways to that, I was sorry, man.
No, go ahead. You finish. You're telling a great story.
I hope you're enjoying the story because I'm rambling like I said.
No, I do. I love this story, especially when we got to the Mr. Boot Cannon part.
Yeah. So like sideways to all that, I was on Twitch as well. I was watching Twitch streams on my laptop constantly, and I was starting to like learn how Twitch culture even was, people, gaming communities and environment and stuff. Originally, when I thought on Twitch, I thought Twitch was just like hardcore, I'm here to play this game and you're going to watch. But when I came back eventually, I was learning it wasn't just that, it was people you were friends with and that you gamed with and everything, all encompassing. It wasn't just about showing off that you're playing a game or whatever. Obviously, there's talent presenting people out there and they're just nuts and that's their thing. But the main thing that I learned was it was community, and I say that word so many times, but it's so true because it's people you're
Right.
inviting in to come game with you and then like share in everything that like a game or games have to like offer for your own experience. So fast forward a little bit. So Shadow keeping that happened. I still wasn't streaming, but I'd built up my Twitter. My Twitter was just totally changed, a total changed landscape because like I followed people I knew in real life, and it was just like some ramblings here and there and dinner pictures here and there. And now my timeline was starting to look like a Destiny timeline. So I got wind about these 4G boxes, as they're called. It's like a Wi-Fi hotspot, but it's a box for your house.
Like a cell
The
phone,
imitate-
like a cellular connection.
Yeah, it's like a Wi-Fi hotspot, but it's a broadband box. It's a dedicated home or a router, should I say? Well, I'm saying a box, a router. So I went and signed up for a trial package to try out this router that gave off broadband speeds. Problem with it though was it was capped, so it was 500 gigabytes a month. So I crunched some numbers. I was like, how much data does Destiny use? How much data does streaming use? And I did all the maths and I worked out X amount of time streaming and gaming, and I thought that would be fine. And I got it delivered, plugged it in, set up in my room, and I put on my PS4, tested it all, and like my jaw hit the floor because right in front of me I had broadband speeds. I was no longer copper wire speeds. This was February 20.
So to be fair, when you're saying copper wire, we would translate that here to telephone speeds.
As slow as anything, man.
Yeah,
It was awful.
telephone. Yeah, because copper wire here can also still be
internet, man.
Yeah, DSL.
Dial up.
Yeah, dial up.
It was awful. So that I got that as a solution in. It was quite dear, but I was like, it's worth it. So I tested my PS4, upload, download, and it was all perfect. It was fast as anything. So then I was just like, I'm gonna do a test stream. So I fired up a test stream on the PS4 Twitch again. And this time I posted on Twitter, I was like, I've just got this box that lets me stream again for my PS4, so I'm doing a test stream. And I shit you not, I had the busiest stream that I'd ever had in my life.
I remember that.
I think I maybe had 4 or 5 euros originally, which was amazing. Like people were turning up still. Like I'm grateful for any amount of numbers, but I'll never forget it because I could see my viewer count and it went up to like 25, 30 that night.
Nice.
And I was just like, what is going on? Like all these people, and it was all the people who had met through Twitter and stuff, and the Twitch side of things as well. And they were all in chat, and I couldn't keep up with it. I was just like, what the frick is going on here? And everyone's like, oh my god, Pigeon's streaming, look at him go. And I was just like, hi. Like I was blown away. That was it. To me, that was it. I had landed, I was back, I was ready to do the streaming thing again. And I ended up, I streamed. I was like, cool, hit the ground running, started streaming again. And I want to say this was either, when did Shadowkeep come out? 2018 or 2019?
I think
Oh,
19.
wow. This is just so I can get the time scale.
18 it would have been.
Right, so this was 2019. So I was at that
October
package
1st.
I had. Yeah, 2019.
Yep.
So it would have been 2020 then. This is 2020 we're in then. So streamed for a few months on my PS4. Everything started getting really good, and I was taking it seriously. I learned how to use a bunch of stuff that I had available, like the bots. I had a laptop to run all my stream from. I had all the tools that Twitch had there. And then COVID hits. March 2020. we all going into lockdown. So I got about 2 months back on Twitch at that point in time, and then lockdown hits us. At the time, I was like, well, for me, I was studying, I was at college. My first, I just finished my first year. I was kind of getting through my second year of college. I was doing sound design, or sound production. That's a whole other aspect as well, dude. I'm rambling so much. I'll try and like kind of
Wait.
fast forward here.
It's
In
okay.
2020, you're in your third year of college?
I love this story, actually.
Yeah, I went back to college, man. So I went back to do sound production.
All right, so we got to ask,
for-
how the fuck old are you?
I'm 33.
Oh, fuck me.
He's
Why?
just a
What's
baby.
with,
He's just a baby
what's
here.
with these young
just a baby.
kids? We got to
So,
talk to our booking people.
I'm a young one. So I ended up, that was March 2020, lockdown happened. So my situation became, so I worked part-time for a pizza place here. The situation became that I was still studying, and they were reacting to how to deliver the course. So that went on for like a month or two. My work, luckily for me, well, I wasn't able to work because it was hospitality, which was just completely off the grid. But my work paid me a percentage of my wages. So I was in a really fortunate position, because I was getting paid a percentage of what I would normally work. And then I was a student, so I was getting supported through that as well, like a student loan. But I didn't have to go into work, so I was like, I'm just going to fucking stream 20 hours a day. And there's another segue. One of my grandparents left me inheritance late 2019. And my parents came to me and says, right, it's time to like see what to do with your inheritance. We think you should get a new car. And I was like, the car I've got's fine. I think I should get a PC so I can stream from properly. And they went away for a week and they came back. Again, this is just one of those things that I got lucky with. Like, God bless my grandparents for that inheritance. They came to me and a week later and says, right, we'll get your PC, just let us know. And then a friend spec'd up the PC and built it for me, and I managed to get all the parts before the entire everything skyrocketed right at the tip of lockdown, and I got hold of the PC, and then
This guy's RNG is off the chain.
it's off the chain, dude. All the things that happened that year.
It's his real life.
It's not,
I mean,
I'll
his
tell
real
you
life
right now, it's not like that in game, bro.
Out here, man. Well,
These
see,
are the things that happened that I was so lucky for, and I do not take it for granted. Like, it was unreal.
He never got fucked by Rahul. He got PC parts.
I know.
You won life, dude.
PC parts are a big one.
Yeah, just
See,
Because,
the
it doesn't get any better.
The one thing
My
I'm
friend
getting
who
out of
built it-
Pigeon's story is that he's really good at analyzing situations. Like, you talked about like, you figured out, like, the Twitter algorithm. I still can't figure out that sumbitch. And then you got, because I know you blew up. I mean, I witnessed that whole thing. You know, and just seeing, like, because, I mean, one, you're a genuine dude. And people really, you know, are, you know, that, I guess that brings in a lot of the masses because you stay who you are. I mean, you don't hold anything back. That's number one. But getting into that Twitter at that time where everything blows up, you know, and the Destiny community just expanded like crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
insane.
you seem like you had the right formula for just about everything to get to right where you are. And I mean, now here you are, a Bungie bounty. I mean,
it's kind of wild.
That's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was brass necking, man. Like, I just brass necked everywhere. Like, I would reach out to people, and I think the thing that changed in me was my perception of people who I would deem to be people with bigger platforms and whatnot. Obviously, there's still getting star-stricken and whatnot. But I ended up, it just happened so frequently that I just started going, there's another person that I looked up to, and I'm literally in a fire team, or I'm gaming with them, or I'm hanging out or whatever, or they've reached out to me. Like, the amount of times I've been flipping shot in the face for YouTube content, it's kind of hilarious. That stuff just blends into an experience, and I'm just like, I don't sit there and go, oh my god, so and so. I'm just like, oh yeah, they're just like you and me, you
So,
know.
let's put a pin in your story and ask this question because Boop just danced all over it. You're a Bungie bounty. None of us obviously have ever had the privilege. What is that like? First of all, what how do they contact you and let you know? But second of all, what's the reaction to? Oh shit! Even Bungie knows who I am. You know what's that from start to finish like?
It's kind of surreal, man. I think it goes back to there was like the time. So I was still shooting my PS4, and this was like one of those blips in the radar. Remember when 0 Hour Mission came out, and people were posting Trevor clips and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
The Bungie put up a post saying like, "Give us your Trevor clips," and they were compiling it for GCX at the time, and I submitted a clip in the replies, and then I was in the middle of gaming one night, probably still doing 0 Hour, and I had a DM from Cosmo. Cosmo DM'd me and he'd followed me, and he was saying, we've shortlisted one of your clips for that video, and then he was looking for my details to do sign like a disclosure thing for that video. My video never made it into the final. I think I swore in it, which was probably why. But he'd followed me on Twitter, so that was kind of, people see that Cosmo follows me on Twitter, and that led to more people kind of following. And that was just by chance as well, like right place, right time. Put a clip up on, had a really funny clip actually, like me getting ran by the Trevor robot, and that just happened. And I think that was one of the things, like content creators that were there would see, well, Cosmo follows him, it must be of like note. And yeah, I think I ended up in Bungie's radar at some point because I managed to get secure the movie of the week emblem.
Because you're the only dude in Scotland playing Bungie games?
Was that?
You're the only dude in Scotland playing Bungie games? They know who you are.
So, yeah, it just comes and goes. Like, I think Bungie are really up there. Like, they'll have a mega roster of all the different people that they know are involved and they can reach out to. I do get tagged quite a lot as well from people, like, in their like suggestions threads, but like even DMG, like, who was the one that messaged me, I'd already like spoke to him about the movie of the week thing, because I'll tell you what it was Halloween, Festival of the Lost was starting. I did a guitar cover of the trailer, because it was like a heavy guitar track in it. Not this year but last year, and it was reset. I was going to stream that night, and I was like, no, I'm covering that song, I'm going to do a movie of the week here, I'm going to try and get a movie of the week. And I covered it, and then I tagged DMG, and he replied to it saying it's amazing sort of thing, and that blew up on the timeline there and then. So then I went, and I didn't know how to record anything. Like, I'd never done any video recording, and I got a friend to help me with it. I recorded the video, I recorded the audio. I knew how to record the audio because that's what I'd done at college, so that was fine. I got a friend to record the video, and or like edit the video for me, submitted it, and boom, like it was the next week or whatever, movie of the week, and we were sitting reading the tab, and I was like, no way, bro, like that's insane. And then I kind of spoke to DMG because he sorted them out with my emblem. But like, fast forward to now, that UK bounty could have been anybody, and I'm sitting there. I was actually at my parents' house. I was just visiting, and my dad was working from home at the time, so I'm sitting next to him, just going, and I look at my phone, and I'm just like, what? His DMG's DM'd me just saying, hey, you want to be a Bungie bounty? And then he's like, I'm looking to fill some slots for the 20th. And he gave me a suggested slot and stuff. I was like, oh, hell yeah, like I'm so on for that. Told me a bunch of other details, and then that's it. I said, when can I announce it? He's like, I'll be in the TWAB tomorrow. And then on the same day, he'd posted like a thread about nightfalls and stuff. And I replied to it just like, oh, dead, just normal, like, yeah, I got my guilded and the nightfalls were great, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw the DM, and then people started DMing me saying GG's on the Bungie bounty. I was like, wait, how do you know? And then I looked at my replies, and he'd said, you should probably check your your DMs. I was like, holy shit, he actually like sent me that before I even seen them. Like, I didn't even see that, I saw the message first. So it was a really weird day, man. That was like last Wednesday. or Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll go with last Wednesday. Couldn't believe it, man. But it's pretty surreal, dude. That was one for the bucket list. Like, movie of the week was bucket list. Bungee Bounty's a bucket list. Community Focus bucket list. Tempting Fate.
What about getting you
And then-
across the pond for a gardening
I'm
job?
not
I
kidding.
was going to say Community Summit would be the other one. That's the two left. I've only got to try and secure. But yeah, I feel like I'm on the radar now. So like Saturday's going to be a big one. I'm going to have to rep as well as I can and just give it my best, like on the stream.
See,
And-
Oh yeah, you are definitely on the radar because people are gonna want that emblem.
I know. If
Glorified
Bungie ever
stream
picked
sniping.
us, they'd be like, "Hey, we're putting Destiny Unfiltered on his Bungie bounties. Get your easy emblems. Get
Yeah, we would be the guaranteed. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
it'd be like anybody want an emblem? Come, 1v1.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that sentiment
feel-
as well. I'm like, I wonder what it's going to be like. I'm at the mercy of matchmaking at the end of the day. So, yeah, that was wild. And
Just
like,
say this without trying to insult anybody, but I feel like if we were the Bungie bounty, that would be the time that they should get the kids that use the special pads, the special gaming pads out, because it'd be a fair match.
Oh my
dangerous business.
Yeah.
I
No.
tell you, all of that was possible because of that PC that I got, and that was March 2020, and that changed the game. I played Destiny on PC for the first time, and that was after playing it PS4 for like 3 years.
Is the
I was just
Bungie
like,
bounties only on PC? Because like, I didn't read
No.
through it this round, but it seemed like they've been targeting PC a lot more lately.
No,
There
they
was a
have it
lot-
on all platforms.
Do they?
all platforms.
Mhm.
I think there is more PC players involved, but they do have. I mean, it's now split into console or PC, so it's one or the other because they're all the matchmaking pools. Pardon me. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Like I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I seen someone reply just saying, yeah, all the streamers are on PC," and I'm like, well, yeah, but like. No, there's still people that stream on console as well, so I wouldn't say it's all that.
But if you
Yeah,
think,
the-
if you think about it
I
though,
wanna know.
for the streamer specifically to be on PC, it makes their life so much easier because it's one
yeah.
self-contained box where you can hook up and you can see your OBS and you can see your chat and you can interact
Yeah.
with instead of having to connect the console to a PC or not and
Oh, yeah.
then have to monitor it. It just makes life so much easier for those guys.
Yeah, I agree, because anytime I pick up a controller to play something else, I'm like lost. If I'm streaming, I'm just like buttons, I have
Wait,
to
are
like,
you
reach
M&K now?
out. I'm M&K, yeah.
Oh.
I took straight to M&K when I got the PC.
And that's
I was terrible at first.
This is where Boot dips out of the conversation.
Hey,
I'm
I'd
disappointed
never.
because I know I played with Pigeon plenty of times on PS4, but God Almighty, now he's all M&K. Gonna have to go
Yes,
get
sir.
his M.
Did you get a PS5?
No, I didn't.
Not
The
yet.
PC, honestly, the PC just had me set for so long. PS5, I'll keep an eye out for.
The only
Fa-
reason why I asked that is because of like the Final Fantasy VII remake. Didn't know if you had.
Yeah.
played it.
Funnily enough, I was playing that at the time. I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake at the time, and I never completed it because I got the PC. I was like, I remember experiencing like the 30 FPS the first time. I was like, whoa, that's so weird. Like going like backwards, should I say?
Yeah.
But yeah, the PC was a game changer. I started. The other thing was like a lot of people that I knew on Twitter were people that were all on PC, so I started gaming with all them. In fact, I'd been gaming with them beforehand, using my MacBook Pro because I used GeForce Now, and I'm not even kidding. I was in like LFG lobbies on PC playing on my MacBook, and nobody knew any different. Like I had peripherals, and I was playing M&K like beforehand. But when I got into PC, it was night and day still from the GeForce thing. Everything was so much more fluid. Had the FOV slider and that. It was wild.
Well,
Yeah,
just switching a little bit of topic here. What everybody doesn't know is that today is Pigeon's birthday. Again.
Happy birthday.
Which one?
One thing I want to know is how did that start that it was like every 3 months it's like we're wishing you happy birthday. What is your actual birthday, and how did all of this start?
Well, you know he's
My
not going to
actual
share his
birthday?
actual birthday, or it would kill the joke.
It might. I think he
No,
wants it killed.
no, it's
I think he
never.
wants it dead.
It's going on. It's going on like 2 years now. No, I embraced it, dude. The birthday thing, I don't even know. I think it was. I feel like I can pin it to. I streamed late one Monday night. I got in for work and I fired up a stream on the Monday night, and we had like a really killer night, just hanging out. And I think we had like a impromptu like Twitch hype train that night. And then people just started saying, "Oh, happy birthday, Pids!" Like that's why it was like hype train. And then people were all saying happy birthday. I'm like, it's not my birthday though. And I think it must have been my reaction. I was like, but it's not my birthday. And everyone was like, oh yeah, happy birthday. And I think that joke in its own was already like a cultural joke. Like I remember Fallout Plays saying to me, he's like, "Oh, you too?" And I was just like, "What?" There's like, yeah, the birthday thing, like people telling it's your birthday all the time. And I was like, ah, yeah, that's me. And
Yeah, that's
ended up
I
making
don't
it a
know.
community event, so I ended up adding like effects and stuff for the community to like pretend it's my birthday. Like there's a confetti
you played
redemption.
into it.
It goes
If
like a
it
party
brings
pop.
others joy.
Yeah, because it's like because people forget really quickly. So it's like when
Yeah,
it starts going up, I'm on there. I'm like, oh shit!
it's
I gotta
Pigeon's
wish him
birthday.
happy birthday before it's over. And
And
I'm
you're
wait a
like, no,
minute.
it's
I'm
not.
like, wait a minute. I just
For
did
the
this a
record,
couple months ago.
my birthday's October 11th.
So it was just
Which
recently your birthday then.
it was
Oh
just recently
well.
my birthday.
Oh well.
Oh,
Happy
that was a
belated
riot, by
birthday.
the way. I had a birthday stream and then my internet crashed, and then I went on a 3 week hiatus. So it was a weird time recently. But yeah, the birthday thing is never going to die, man.
I
I'm
don't
like
think it is.
800
I'll
years
make
old.
sure it lives on for sure.
Someone will just say, "Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Pids." There's a few people out there that are really committed to it. Like they'll say it every time they see me in someone's chat. They'll go, "Oh, happy birthday, Pids," and I'm like, but then everyone gets involved, so I'm like, oh, there you go, and then it just doesn't end.
Well,
So those people are the ones to blame.
I saw Pidge post a very controversial tweet most recently about how he actually likes Gambit.
I do.
And yeah, it was really controversial. Uh, but tell us a little bit about why you like Gambit, because I would love to know. I mean,
So-
we would like to know.
This is going to be purely opinion based, so
Sure.
it's my opinion. You can all have your own opinion, of course. I was looking off. I'd set up time with the Gambito crime family that weekend there. I don't know if you know them. They're like the high elo players of Gambit, and they took me on for a few hours to play a bunch of games. So it was a very, again, I say this, sugar-coated experience where we're pretty much winning most, like every game. I think we were on a 20-win streak, and the only team that bet us was people from the same clan. But coming away from that, I ended up just observing. I'm like, I think to me, Gambit is where you can test endgame PV builds and then your PvP potency as well all at once. Like how fast you can melt a group of ads and stuff. So I think it's like the best combat setting in the game, out with like raids and then GMs and stuff, although they're a bit more artificially inclined. I feel like Gambit hits the sweet spot of this is solid, but you can still do it really fast if you know your build crafting and you know what to use, which is kind of what I found with the Gambito guys, because we were playing 2 minute rounds of Gambit. 2 minutes, start to finish, Primeval melted, all that stuff. So it was really eye opening.
Would you like to talk about a little bit about what you learned and how, like, what kind of strat did they use to be so proficient?
There was quite a few. So each player kind of fulfilled a certain role to an extent. So the invader guy, he was the one that blew my mind the most. But he spec'd into abilities that gave him his super very fast. So he was on a golden gun hunter, which is one of the most effective invader tools. But the thing was that he had his super within 40 odd seconds because of his build. So I'm talking right at the start, they're up and they're using Radiant Dance Machines to tumble and get Dynamo going in front of the enemies. Fills up their super, they go to the first zone and they start jumping around again. he's got a super at the moment. You've got 25 motes, and he is jumping at that portal with a goldie, and then
Plus, you
boom,
have
boom,
someone
boom.
who's not trying to steal motes and compete, while you got other people focused on motes to get them in the bank and drop larger blockers.
They kind of tossed it around. So my role for the day was to help with ad waves and then protect the bank from invaders and blockers. So I was doing that, and the other two guys were just super proficient at clearing stuff. But every last one of them was proficient at shutting down invaders and boss baking as well. Like overpowering the ammo economy as well. I learned a bit about the ammo economy. Like, did you know that your first wave, your first ad in most of the Gambit matches, you'll get a special brick, which I didn't know about.
Say what?
You get a special brick off your first wave of ads. You'll get a special brick almost straight away off your first kill. Yeah, just what? And next time, if you ever play Gambit, just look for that special brick. You're bound to get one straight away. It's guaranteed, and then after that, it goes into the RNG/ammo economy. But they guys are all on top of the ammo economy the whole way through. They're using double special in some cases, and then they've got their swords and stuff for baking. It's just mental. But it's the speed and the proficiency. There was not a moment that went by I was in trouble any point in time through waves. It was just melt through everything. It was great fun. And that's the kind of deep build crafting that they've tapped into, like for their team comp. Like that team was curated to hang out with me that day. They all had their role each, and then I jumped in and just kind of went rolling through it. It was nuts.
That's actually pretty interesting because to play Gambit solo is a terrible experience for most people.
I play Gambit solo all the time, and
if you got a 20 win streak solo,
I enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, I've went on win streaks, yeah, but I mean, what I like to do is, I have at least one weapon that can clear trash mobs in bulk fast. Whether it's Wither Horde, whether it's Trinity Ghoul, something that can clear a lot of stuff fast. Because usually on the first round of ads, like say you're on the one that's I think it's a Nessus map, they always spawn in the center first, around that big round thing, whatever the base, and then they always end up going to the steps. So first thing I would do is go up there, clear ads, wouldn't pick up anything, and immediately before he even called that it's moved to the next location, I was heading over there on the back way, because you can go jump out on that one platform, jump to the next one. I'm in that doorway right as they spawn. I kill so many, I pick up 15 right there.
Yeah.
Before the rest of the guys even come over to, help grab, start cleaning up the next stuff. I can go deposit those. And so I mean, I've got a flow down, but no matter what map it is right now, I always kind of position myself. I'm always watching how much they have, how much they're putting in. I never get caught off guard by an invader. I'm always at a position where I know, okay, we're going to be getting invaded soon. But you do have those crazy teams who will get 100 banked in no time flat.
Like
and they save all their freaking invades for after. While they're melting their primeval, they're invading and keeping you squashed back to where you can't even, you do run into those from time to time, but there's no greater feeling though than when you got 4 solo guys, no communication, beat at 4 stack.
It is a good feeling though. But it's pretty interesting because I mean, I'll tell you, Gambit got really bad when the what was it, the grenade launcher, the breach and clear. Oh my god! People with Anarchy and breach and clear, it was over in like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah. You just remind me of something else, by the way. So, an extra layer to what they do when they're playing is so you're obviously you can hold on to invades, but they're straight in with the invades before the other team gets their motes out. They do the whole steamroll where that invader will go in and clear the amount of motes. Like he'll get all 4 people and they'll have 0 motes for the majority of the game, or we'll drain them. And then the other thing is that they know 9 times out of 10 they'll know where the enemy's going to spawn in, and they'll know where they're going to spawn in when they go into the opposite side as well. So they know exactly what their play is going to be.
I don't know how they figured that. I mean, I guess they just playing it enough that you
It's
figured
obviously
that.
there's set rotations and times because I think a lot of it was timing based. So like, oh, we've missed X and X rotation or whatever, or positioning. But a lot of the
Really?
time they were just going, the invaders coming there, and they would just pop their head as soon as they spawned if they weren't
Got
ready.
into
Like
that
spawn
kind
kill.
of science. Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
we
kind of
played
scary.
quite a lot of perfect games where it was 100 motes, primeval melted, enemy team 0 motes. It was mad. That's the high elo in the gambit. Like I'm like half there at elo, for what I've played. I think I probably gained a few ratings, but
Now,
yeah, it's just
do
mad.
you notice this in Gambit? Occasionally, you'll come across the time that you drop in and the ads are like dialed up. They do stupid damage.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
yeah, it's weird.
Like a
It's
raid.
like you've
That's
got the
what I'm saying.
exact.
That's why
Yeah.
I do enjoy it because I think their combat difficulty is just that wee bit is higher than strikes and just it's an in between. It's an in between. They're set at a level where they're quite tanky and they're very aggressive, so they will just rush at you if you're not careful. I
Yeah.
learned about map and enemy rotations as well. So they're very their favorite one is Deep Six with Hive,
Uh-huh.
which is the one of the easiest ones to do super fast, like a pure speed run, like sub 2 minute match. So they call it like the Deep Six Hive match.
I hate it when the shriekers show up though, man.
Like,
And
how
if
do you
you're- if
avoid
you're
that?
not-
That is
I think
unbelievable to me.
they just go mad with it, and then they were telling me like the least favorite rotation. So it was like the fire based one with Vex was like their least favorite rotation for X reasons. Like Vex are jumpy and teleporty, and just make it slower. Anything that slow makes it slower was what they didn't like. So yeah, that was that experience definitely.
I
It was
gotta
great fun.
say, I miss the Tangled Shore map and the Dreaming City map.
Oh yeah, I don't see why they don't just add them back in at the moment, but apart from like I don't know context or whatever.
Well,
Those
they had the
maps
same
played.
thing though with the PvP. They just say like the lighthouse. We don't have Mercury anymore, but we've simulated it. Well, fine, simulate
Yeah,
it with, I mean that's easy to retcon in the story there.
yeah. I think they don't like the maps because of the design of them, the way they play. Like that Dreaming City map's just a big spawn trap. Like, oh, no matter where the invader is, like you're always going to be down at that main central bit because everything faces towards it. Whereas the other maps are a bit more like circular, like super circular. They're just like 3 lines sticking out from the center.
Yeah.
For that Dreaming City map, and then the other one, I don't know, man. That was a great map. The one you could launch about the place. That was good
I love
fun.
shooting. I love shooting
Yeah.
across the map with a homing rocket and catching them
Oh yeah.
like while you're flying over. Those are some
Oh
of
yeah,
the
done
best
that
clips.
at times. Carpet bombing with 1K voices and that.
See,
The
that's when the box was damage gated though, and that's the one thing I kind of miss was it was like just not melting the boss from the beginning to end, but there was actually a strategy then about you had to kill the envoys to get the
yeah,
damage in on the boss.
I
Whereas
the time
hated
now it's
stuff.
that
just
though. I
like
hated having to be stuck in, having to go stand in the Taken Zit, in order to be able to do damage to the boss.
Yeah. So I actually asked the timeline, like, do you prefer bakes or do you prefer gates? And the general consensus was people agreed that a bake was good if your team was like spec'd for it, like you build crafted into being able to bake, which is becoming a bit easier these days with like particle deconstruction and breach and clear and stuff. Those, like you already said, but they're just melting everything left, right, and center. But then gates are there for a catch up mechanic sort of. But I think they can have better catch up mechanics like throughout the game modes, definitely.
yeah, because
Compared to
it's
what we've
like
got now.
yeah, because it gets
Well-
disheartening when you get those teams and they just melt it right away, and you're like,
Yeah. The common
I gotta
one is
report
the if you bank second, you're at an advantage because you're going to drain motes off people rather than banking
Yeah.
first, which is showing speed. So I don't
They-
know. We'll see what they do.
The only Gambit trophy I never got was the 7.
I
the
don't got that, man. I don't
That
think I
one
got
was-
it.
That was
It's a hard
crazy.
problem.
I mean, it's a hard one to pull off because you got to kill 3 guardians.
Let
and
them all
then
respawn.
when they respawn and kill all 4. to get 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because once you kill 4, it pulls you back over. But if you kill 3 and then they're all clustered together, like let's say one of them was camping spawn hiding, and then the other 3 respawn, so now they're all 4 in one bottleneck spot, and you go throw a Nova Bomb or something, and Bob's your uncle.
One of my friends had a clip with that, and they all died to sunspots. He left a sunspot, and they kept on killing, stepping in it and dying, and it filled up his skill feed, and he got I think it's Total Carnage or something.
Yeah, Total Carnage.
Nice. Yes, I think I remember seeing something like that.
I saw.
It was Synchro, if you know Synchro.
I saw Lit pull it off, and man, just him just standing up, throwing his headset, freaking out like.
Oh. 7 down. Love it, man. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Gambit. Just.
So are you a Gambit main, or are you PvP main? You PvE main?
I'm a loot chasing main. I'll go wherever the good loot is.
He'll be there.
Yeah, man.
So what the fuck are you doing now?
What has been your least favorite seasonal activity so far?
Least favorite seasonal activity?
And not talking just this season, like any season. Like
think
back.
Yeah, it's a good question. The thing that comes down to for me is that they all tend to be really fun, but they're just not fun for long. So it's like I'll do a couple of runs, and then I'll be like, right, cool, that's the seasonal activity, that's the play loop, and then I kind of get it in my head, oh man, I'll be doing a lot of this. I think this year I definitely enjoyed the Splicer one. It was the first one that felt kind of a wee bit more frenetic, and you were moving about, you're climbing up the tower, you're well, I'm not gonna lie, I do as much as love Gambit, bringing Gambit mechanics to every seasonal activity is not the play.
Yeah.
Like modes and,
let's take our least popular activity and expand it.
They've done it twice now. They did it in Arrivals, and that event was kind of lackluster because it was a public event. It wasn't even match made. Splicer picked up on it a wee bit with the wee teleport section, and it felt kind of fun. And then your boss at the end, so that was all right. Did you say least favorite?
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I'll say
that one in Arrivals. I'll go with the one in Arrivals because it was a public event and it was you're at the mercy of the instances and stuff, which would get very quiet quickly. Started the first day they launched the season, hundreds of people. I remember running about IO, hundreds of people doing the event. Great. Next week, and you're just like, cricket's rolling, man.
I know. The minute you see someone walk by, you're like, great, I'm going to start the event. There's 4 people here, and they just pass right on by.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, I'm here under the bounty.
I'll pin it on that then, just for that reason.
I love the battlegrounds though, and I know they stuck around, but I still love playing it because I love that horde mode feel. Because
nailed the horde mode feel.
You want build crafting? That's a good one to do too.
Oh yeah.
They're not bad. Most people really liked Menagerie. For me, it got old. It got so old because it was the same things. It was we start in the center, then go to the gauntlet, then everyone.
But it depended on how fast you could and proficient you were with it that you could get to the boss. That was the key. And but I loved it. I mean, the thing about Menagerie, the magic that was behind it was the the rune system, being able to craft your own weapons and having a set of weapons instead of having to rely on RNG than certain roles.
Yeah, that part I agree with.
That was lightning in a bottle. We talked about that one week. Like that was a formula of success. They were like, oh, everybody's crying for it, and Bungie's like,
timeless.
No,
but I mean, you had whatever week it was. You had 3 different end bosses, so it just depended on the week. You know what? I mean, it should have been random at all times. Didn't matter. You dropped in. It didn't matter if after the first 3 weeks passed. Make every time you go in have a different end boss, or just RNG which end boss you got. Then it's a little bit more. Oh, we got the freaking ogre this time. Great. All right, whatever. But it's like every time you had the ogre, that was the same week you had Blackout. Every time you had the, it was the same week.
Oh, I know. I see what you mean. Yeah.
And that wore me out. I wanted to play this guy with a different set of, handicaps, or whatever.
Yeah. They've definitely came a long way since Menagerie, apart from maybe the loot side. They've toyed with like giving us an almost like perfect system because they're clearly capable of doing it. Like when there's RNG involved, for people that know me, like I rant about RNG all the time because I am the guy. I will sit and grind for a 5 out of 5 roll on a weapon, and like to add to my collection because that's my biggest thing. Again, the power of fantasy, having the best loot and stuff. So I will put that extra time in. But like, if somebody's going to get it in one attempt and I'm here 50 attempts later, it's a big disparity in like the time investment. So some of the systems they've given us have been, again, a bit more cluster and then improving and then getting closer. So like for me, the Witch Queen weapon crafting is going to be a potential like just insanity mode for me because it's literally what I've been dreaming of, like just having full agency, not just like it's one or the other or it's this or that. It's you can focus this, you can make this into whatever you want it to be. Well, obviously within whatever limitations they'll set. So yeah. For all the things that we get to focus the loot and activity wise, like it's not going to come close to Menagerie is like how good it was. But I think with the Witch Queen, if it's part of an activity to focus weapons, then whatever, that's going to be insane. Like I think that could be the best one yet, just for that reason.
So you mentioned how you really like to you like the weapon crafting. So a lot of questions we've been asking of our guests are, you don't have to leave it to just one or two, but if there are things that you could change in Destiny to be the way you want it to be, what would you change or add or take away?
Just full agency systems. Like we got the trials loot system. But I would basically advocate for that system in every aspect of the game. Strikes, Gambit, Iron Banner, dungeons, raids. I mean, we've got the raid chests and stuff. And then add deeper layers to it for perk protection and more RNG protection. Like, I've got like white whale loot that I've been chasing since, well, I'll tell you one I got like the other week. So I've been doing some of the things I do. I don't do it constantly because I do get fatigue. I'll go, can't be bothered doing that now. But one of the ones I was chasing was the hand cannon from Garden of Salvation with Rapitit Dragonfly, which is the only hand cannon in the game that rolls that. Now, we did get Fatebringer in the time it took me to farm that because it's basically the Fatebringer rule, except Rapitit, which is a more powerful perk than Outlaw, which is what the old Fatebringer perk combination was. And maybe not the weekend there, but the weekend before, it dropped for me, Rapitit Dragonfly, with rubbish other perks, by the way. I was gutted, but like, first time I'd ever seen those two perks on the hand cannon for me, and that was 2 years. That was Shadowkeep 2019, and I'd been chasing that role. It had been a background grind for me. Done everything else, right? I'm going to jump into some gardens and farm the hand cannon, and I finally got it. Whereas that could have been so much faster if there was a chest system like we had, and then I could say it at least rolls with Dragonfly as a minimum or whatever other ways to protect RNG. So that's one big thing I would do is
I agree with that.
As much RNG protection, perk protection, you name it, masterwork protection, you got it. And I think we're getting that with the crafting. The other thing I would change about Destiny, the now. Vault space.
Why did I know you were gonna say that? I just knew that was gonna come up.
It goes hand in hand, man. I'm a hoarder. Like my vault, I want to be like the most golden vault ever, but it can't be if it's only 500 slots for a game that's been out for 4 years.
Did I see that they're dropping support for the older consoles in next year? Has that been announced or?
Not sure.
Okay.
Assuming it is console limitations.
I'm not sure if that's been announced or something that has been talked about behind the scenes a bunch or whatever, but I have a feeling we're going to be hearing about it soon.
Yeah, I've seen someone say it's partly to do with old gen limitations.
Yeah,
Can't,
RAM.
can't have for if they can't have for all, then they can't have it, sort of thing.
What's your thoughts
But
on the
then
Destiny content vault?
my thoughts on DCV, genuinely, it's just a necessary evil at the end of the day.
Should
I
have
would
just
I
put
would
all
love
of Destiny 2 in it and brought out Destiny 3.
if they could, but like all I know for a fact, like if they to do that, the development cycle would have been you're not getting content for a year if you want a Destiny 3, and I think that would have just been a disaster for the franchise, especially because they're self-publishing. It's just a pipe dream, man. If they still had like the Activision support and stuff, like might have been different. I don't know. But they did do the new engine for Destiny 2, so that was kind of cool. That came out really well. Like I remember seeing the changes straight away, and then like even this year alone, there are weekly patches on the Thursdays and all sorts going on now. It's been really obvious. Like those patch notes are doubled in size, like on a weekly basis. So I'm a
This
mixed
week
bag,
was
man.
really technical. This week,
Huh?
like I was like when we were talking about Vault Space, I was getting really mad that like DMG is gonna drop a bomb like, hey, hold on to all your adrenaline junkie rolls because we're gonna be changing that up. Well, everybody's all excited, but then all of a sudden here goes my Vault Space getting back into the 490s, and I'm like, God, well, tell me what it is. I mean, so I know
Yeah,
whether I don't want to keep all my rolls, but thank God this week they did talk about it, but they were super duper technical about a lot of
technical
things.
and
That's
late.
great.
Yeah, that's why I was a beast, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean,
well,
when
they
you
talked about this one already being over 4,000 words
but
on Saturday.
You know?
we'll get hand cannons, we'll get shotguns, we'll get sidearms or whatnot that you will have a set of perks that you like. They feel good to you, they work good, but then you see another streamer say, "Hey man, don't sleep on this perk." So you start going after to collect it. You still use your staple, but then you find a couple of set of perks and like, eventually I try them out. Fault them. Or this perk used to be good, and due to a recent sandbox change, it's not anymore. But I know eventually, it could possibly be again. So your vault does. My vault sits at 4.99 at just damn near all the time. I can trade out one thing. Uh,
Yeah,
Including your postmaster, right?
No,
Postmaster's your extra
that's
vault.
out, man.
no, I
Uh,
don't. I don't. I don't play the razor's edge of the. Oh shit! I lost all my upgrade course because.
Yep, I live my life on the edge.
just gone. But I call them sleeper rules. So like I get made fun of a lot when I'll get something, I'll look at it, I'll go, I'll keep that for now, and then so like you're never going to use it. And I'm like, I probably won't, but at least I know that if it becomes meta, then I've got it. So I call them all. I call it sleeper rules. And one of the things I do on my streams is talk about sleeper rules. I'm like, this is what you should get. You should farm this. Like this week, I was talking about the Fate Bringers. The time lost challenge is out just now. Fatebringer can roll with Adrenaline Junkie on it, and people weren't likely to have kept it until now, and might be worth going after for next season, or not. Sorry, the seventh event. But like that
Ever,
again is an
have
extra
you,
few for the vote.
Yeah,
have you
absolutely.
ever
Yeah, again.
or have you ever had a gun type that no matter what, you're just like, I can't fall in love with that gun. I don't care how meta it gets. It just doesn't feel right to me. So you just always delete them. I'm not a fan. Like for example, the 340, the highest impact pulse rifles. They don't shoot fast enough for me. I want to, I got to pull that trigger multiple
Like the legal
times.
action you're talking about? The
Yeah,
messenger?
yeah, yeah. Even messenger,
Oh, fun.
people
Yeah.
love it. I cannot.
Well, it's because of that Desperado. Otherwise, people shard them all.
Yeah,
Unless they have
Just rather
Desperado.
of us.
But Kill Clip is actually the sleeper role on the messenger.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't fall in love with it. I can't. It doesn't respond quick enough for me. I'm always pulling the trigger before it's ready again, and then I end up losing a gunfight. I'll go back
Yeah.
to what.
All right, I hate to be
you have-
this guy, but we are
Don't be that guy.
over 90 minutes with Pigeon, it's got to be getting late where he's at, so
I'm fine.
we should probably start winding things up. So
We are all fine here.
So, Pigeon, to end every show, we ask the guests the same 5 questions. You must respond and give us an answer to all of them.
Okay.
And
Please.
I'm guessing we're gonna need some translations on some of these.
I'll try. I'll give you a translation. That's fine. Yeah, that was an epic convo. Sorry, I kind of spiraled.
Oh, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. But
the show's all about you, so that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Okay.
So the first question. So this will be one of the more interesting ones for you. I'll probably get it wrong because I always do. But hey, what is your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yep.
I'm going to have to cook in this for a sec. but I think overall, like, towering over everything, I like good burgers. Like a really good burger. There's loads of amazing burger joints in Glasgow, which I frequent, so yeah, I really
what do you
good.
Get on that burger. What do you get?
There's a place. Well, there's 2 places I've been recently. One does, and I'm going to start drooling, man. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm pure. Oh. There's a place that does a proper Cali burger, so it's like animal style burgers, thin sliced, mustard cooked, all that stuff. Flipping amazing. That's one of them. And then the other place does like a imitation Big Mac, but it's like a Big Mac, but it's like proper beef patties and stuff, so it's like dynamite.
Not the processed shit that we get.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
It's unreal. I'm going there this weekend, I think, or next weekend, so if I get a picture, I'll send you it.
No, send me the burger. I don't want to send you I need a good cottage Big Mac.
Transmat firing. And boom.
I'll send you a picture. No, same with the burger. That is total quality, man.
Oh, jeez. I mean, a Scottish Big Mac.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. I want to know how we get it to. Do we put it on dry ice and then Boop's got to cook it?
I'll figure something out. I'll get a recipe for you, bro. I know the guy works in the kitchen.
Dude, that would be great. Yeah. You don't want to put that on Twitter because lose business. But all right, what you got, Ryan? There.
What's your favorite drink, alcoholic and non-alcoholic?
Alcoholic. I love bourbon. I've got my Maker's Mark sitting here.
He's got it. Wait, pull it up. You got it right there.
It's
He
right here.
got it.
I've not touched it. I'm actually having a dry month. Right, there's a wee dribble left. There's like that much left. But I've got my Makers.
How can
I think I've got a full bottle in the cupboard.
How can you let that sit there? You should just drink that right now.
Nah, I vowed not to drink till the end of the month, so I've been on my best behaviour. But yeah, I love bourbon. I love how sweet it is, and I do actually like mixing it. Blasphemy, I know. I mix it with like colas and stuff. It's really nice. Love it.
Josh?
Looks really good. By the way.
Non-alcoholic. I actually just had a bottle of stuff. I don't know if you guys.
He's gonna plug it.
It's a plug. That's my favourite non-alcoholic drink. It's Virgil's Black Cherry Cream Soda.
Aren't you sponsored by...
I would try that.
Black cherry cream soda.
Cream soda.
Oh, I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
Aren't you sponsored by one of those gamers drinks?
Sorry?
Aren't you?
Advanced GG?
Aren't you sponsored by one? Yeah.
Hashtag ad my advanced fam.
That's when you're supposed to pull out whatever you're sponsored by and go, this. That's what the whole question was designed for.
Oh, my sponsors. I'm not here promo, man.
Only one guy ever got
I'm
it
here
right.
for the power, not the promo.
Alright.
Yeah, all of that Black Cherry stuff. They sell at my work, so I get it cheap. I buy like 2 or 3 bottles every week that work, so...
Hey, put that in the box with the Scottish Big Mac.
So, if you could have anyone voice your ghost, who would it be?
Living or dead?
Not Chris Pratt, I'll tell you that for free. No, I'm kidding. My ghost would be voiced by... I actually had to think about this not long ago. Dude, that's such a good question. Bear in mind, this is person with me forever. For a while.
By the way, Boop, you can get Virgil's Black Cherry and Cream Soda at Walmart.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that stuff is so good.
And I'll pretend I got it from Scotland.
Nah, it's Iron Brew. I should have said. I could have said Iron Brew
Look
thing.
at what
I
Pigeon
actually
sent me.
I betrayed Iron Brew and everything to plug that stuff. Ghost voice. Oh man, who could it be?
You can't say yourself, because I know a lot of your fans would say, I want Pigeon to voice my ghost.
Yeah, Molly be drooling all over it.
Dude, who's a fun voice? That's a really good question. I'd actually need to like really think about that. I would.
Like,
you know? Wait for it.
He's got it.
I think like a pure rustic like pronounced voice like Ian McKellen, aka
Nice
Gandalf.
choice, actually.
I think that's the first one that came to my head, like a very composed voice, like that sort of thing. That'd be a lot of fun.
Can always try to think of it to the level of, I would actually pay, I would buy this voice package from the Eververse, like, you know.
All right,
It'd be that,
get the Gandalf sound package.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah, take my money, man. Eververse, you can have it. No, that's an amazing question. I'm totally stealing that, by the way, for Patter.
Yeah, you bet.
I'll go with Ian McKellen. I think because he's Scottish and he's got a very, very recognizable voice. Yeah. Go with that.
At first I thought you were gonna say I was looking it up, but one thing that hit me, a great ghost voice would be Ian McShane.
Ian McShane.
From
I'm gonna have to look
Deadwood.
that. From Deadwood, dude. I didn't watch Deadwood.
Showed Deadwood, but what else was he in? I can't.
Well, he was
in
Blackbeard.
John Wick.
Oh yeah, he was in John Wick. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Blackbeard.
It's the same kind of voice. That
Yeah.
same kind of very sophisticated voice. I was actually going to go Sean Connery as well, but I was like, nah, it's too obvious, man.
No, Sean
Rest in peace,
Connery,
kids.
dude, that would be a solid choice too.
Wish we were organized.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't say Grant Morrison, if you know who he is.
I do not.
He's a comic book writer that writes Batman over here all the time. He's also very big into like punk music and shit over there, so.
Oh.
He sounds just like you. It's the only other guy I know that's Scottish.
Oh, right. Fair enough. I'm actually like well spoken as far as Scottish is concerned, so.
All right.
All right.
Hey, there's a new one you guys have, and I don't know what it is.
All right. This is the
That's
new
why
one.
I point to Ryan.
So, what
Well,
is
I get
your
the title.
first gaming memory?
First gaming memory.
Mm-hmm.
I think
So
we probably already covered that, really.
Yeah,
I
I think
did, yeah. Playing Sonic in my living, like the first place I grew up, first place I lived in when I was like 4 years old. Playing Sonic. I remember playing Golden Axe as well. To be honest, that was another game I played at the
Good
time.
game, yes.
So yeah, playing Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and playing Golden Axe. Also learning the Sonic the Hedgehog debug mode as well, if you know that one. The one where you turn into the ring and you can just fly about and make everything and.
Yes. I
Oh,
remember
dude,
that.
look it up. Sonic, it's iconic. Sonic 1 debug mode, insane.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, start.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah,
Super
God
Sonic
mode.
God mode, yeah.
All right. Strangely enough, we talked about how much you generally cuss, and we haven't heard much of that here. So, what is your favorite cuss word?
Probably shite. Yeah, we shite.
I love
All
it.
right, try again and pick a real one.
I'd say fuck a lot.
There you go.
So that's always kind of been a question of mine. Is over there in Scotland, is shite as powerful as straight up shit over here? Or, is shite kind of a watered down version of shit? You guys say just straight up shit.
I think it's very watered down because it's very much just like, oh yeah, we shite, or oh that's a load of shite. It's just like a, yeah, it's not like a pure potent.
Is it even really considered bad language like it is over here? Any of it, or
Nah.
are you guys?
My parents told me not to cuss growing up, and then eventually I just started rhyming off swears and stuff. Like it's.
I feel like in most of the world, except here, most people are just like, okay, it's part of the common vernacular. But here,
Yeah.
we lose our mind and act like 3-year-olds. So,
He starts swearing all over himself.
It's offensive to everybody here, but you know,
Yeah.
everywhere else they're just like, screw it, we don't care.
It depends on your audience. I know for a fact that like, if I was to meet an English person and I said something like, "Oh, you're wee shite," they'd probably feel quite intimidated. But context, I guess, if I just said it on the fly or like I was being funny with someone, like.
Can you say it in church?
Kirk?
Church.
In church.
Oh.
Church.
Okay.
Would I say in church? Probably not.
That was said over my. That was said over my
What the fuck is
christening.
this shite?
Well, here's some shite for your forehead. Some water shite. We got it right there. But you know, it's funny. Like when I learned that bloody is actually a bad word over in the UK. Now I don't know in Scotland, but like they were like somebody told me don't ever say that there because it's worse than the word fuck. Using the word bloody.
I think it
really?
maybe it used to be.
Bloody hell, you know. Like,
Bloody hell! Oh, yeah. I feel like when I was a kid, that was maybe you weren't allowed to say that. It's a bad word, but now, nah.
Oh, like that one video that was going around where these two Indian guys are arguing with each other in the middle of the road. It's like, "Fuck you, bloody! Fuck you! No, fuck you, bloody!" You know, and it's like, yeah, they're throwing around bloody like it is, you know, a horrible word. I'm like, what?
Nah, I don't feel it. If someone said bloody hell to me, I'd be like, what? I would be like,
yeah, right on.
So did you come by it honestly? Like your parents that they don't speak in that kind of
nah, not really.
vernacular? No? Oh my god.
And like my mom especially, she swore a lot. Swore a lot, so it's like eventually there would be a time where I would just start dropping swears in a sentence to my parents and they wouldn't think twice yet. Eventually. My parents were really cool.
Like I made it.
His parents are buying video game consoles.
You get away with it now.
In front of your parents and
this was so someone asked me this, right? But they did say like playing in party chat, especially Call of Duty, you just hear every swear under the sun. So it became very, like you say, vernacular, just sitting there just like, oh, they're saying this and that, but oh, you fucking dick, like, oh. That would be a thing, like swearing at the video game, like at the person beating you or whatever. So that's very real to me as a person, maybe not everybody. But then I'm getting wind of one of my younger like nephews, should I say? Well, not even my nephew, but like one of the next generations in the family is getting into his video games, and I'm just like, he's going to be swearing like mad soon. I can tell you that. Like he'll be in the lobbies, he'll be in the PvP lobbies, and he'll start
if you play
imitating what
video
other
games,
kids are
you will
saying.
be cussing.
Yeah, basically.
Strangely, my son doesn't cuss.
Huh.
Like
No
I
video
like, well, because of my boys, because I've asked his brother. I was like, okay, does he cuss? Like he won't around us. Like I tell the old story that he only cussed one time, but that was to tell me that it was the wrong word. And so he's like, "Dad, you can't say the word fuck." I was like, okay, you're right. But even his brother confirms that he doesn't swear, and I'm like,
That's fair enough.
I don't know how, because there's a long line of
Sweariness.
There's a lot of boot cannons on the wall.
Way out there that have really really bad behaviors with especially toxic Destiny days.
Yeah.
So
you know.
All right, Pigeon, you got
Or people that use Witherhorde. I had to bring it up once a show.
You got.
I'm gonna put some clips up on Twitch.
You got some shit to plug. What do you got going on this week?
So yeah, the big one, we've got the Bungie Bounty. That's maybe on Saturday the 20th at, well, it'll be 7 a.m. Eastern time. So for any early risers that can bag a UK host, then come stream snipe me. You can snipe me on my channel, twitch.tv/pigeon. That's PIJINN. Other than that, I'm hoping to catch this twab on Thursday. 18 pages or so in Cosmo was shown on the timeline. And yeah, a lot of words. So I'm going to try and go live and break that down. So if you're looking for a twab breakdown, I just finished recording a new YouTube video. That's YouTube/Pigeon88 because I can't get Pigeon apparently. That'll be out sometime towards the weekend. And
Right.
yeah,
You should have just added more ends.
all the ends.
One
That's
more
the
in.
That, by the way, people asked about the name. That was just like a MySpace thing. I was called Pigeon, and I wanted to make it look edgy for MySpace, so I changed it to Pigeon, and it just stuck. So, again,
Are you
gamer
even
tag.
old enough to have used MySpace, for fuck's sake?
Yeah. I think that was like 16, 17 at the time
Hey,
for
man,
MySpace.
UK is always like 5 years behind. On the
Oh yeah, agreed.
technology.
We were discovering that. Took us 5 years later to get Facebook, man.
Get that out of the hotspot.
Like we're still waiting on Instagram over here.
They haven't even heard about Meta yet, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah,
Are
that's
you doing the
what's going on,
TikTok thing? You doing TikTok? That seems to be.
Nah, I really want to. I feel like I have more success with YouTube Shorts. So like, if anyone checks out my channel, I've got a bunch of YouTube Shorts talking about weapon rolls and stuff. I'll be going ham on the new drops for the 30th anniversary event in Destiny. So if you're looking for god roll advice or weapon advice and stuff, then come check it out. I'll be
You also gonna be playing some Halo?
definitely putting some. I'm not gonna lie, I'm okay going to maybe play a match before bed tonight. I was like thinking about it. I was like, oh, I was playing it before I hopped on, and I was like, right, podcast.
Yeah, same here.
Play a wee game after.
Everybody here but Josh is playing it, and that's just he's a PlayStation guy, and he doesn't play much on PC. So
He has no idea how much of life he's missing out.
I got mine in Games Pass, so I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This is probably the defining moment for Games Pass because I've had it for like the whole year, or I've had it since last year, and I've played maybe 2 or 3 games off it, which is probably my money's worth already. But Halo Infinite, man, like 50 quid saving just to play that. Like I can play that in launch. Like that's my year's sub, you know. In fact, it's bang on my year's sub for the Games Pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I rate it highly.
all right. So, anything else you need to plug before we call it a night?
No, honestly, thanks for having us on tonight. I probably should say actually my main plug is Twitter again, where all my ramblings are on. So if you want a constant upkeep of my ramblings, it's /pigeon again with an underscore because some dead account has pigeon without the underscore. It's a very common thing for Twitter.
Yeah, I tried to DM them earlier tonight. When I sent you the message about getting the Discord details,
that was the second attempt.
Yep. So,
that's pretty funny actually.
I'm not very good at like going back and rereading. I just start guessing when I start sending DMs.
Yeah.
So
I was already following you on Twitter, but I just subscribed to your YouTube. So
thanks. Appreciate it.
On that note, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. In a few hours, this will be live on YouTube, and we'll drop the link for that for everybody. So if you missed any of the conversation, go over there and check out the rest. Just as a note, right now we have shut down the audio version of the podcast, so we're gonna come back after the first of the year and put them back up. But so our account got hacked. So we put out a lot of hate speech last week. So yeah, so
we didn't officially, but whoever hacked us did.
Yeah, I got a note from Podbean that was like, you might want to check your password. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna shut it down. We'll let it reset. And then fix. So yeah, so we will have an audio version of this, but it won't be till after the first of the year. So YouTube for all that. So
just play it on YouTube and then
turn your screen off.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but
thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'd love to talk to you.
Fun.
Love to talk to you again after we get some new content and get your thoughts on that.
Absolutely.
Course,
So,
absolutely, especially.
all right. And on that note, we're gonna jump out of here. I'd say we go raid somebody, but everybody's playing other games tonight, so I think we're just gonna call it a night.
Right on.
Sounds good.